Good morning. Today we'll start with compressible flow. For most part, we have limited our consideration so far to flows for which density variations and thus compressibility effects are negligible. In this chapter, we'll lift limitation and consider flows that involve significant change in density. Such flows are called compressible flows, and they are frequently encountered in devices that involves the flow of gases at very high velocities. Compressible flow combines fluid dynamics and thermodynamics in that both are necessary to development of the required theoretical background. So in this chapter we will also discuss concept of stagnation state, speed of sound, Mach number for compressible flows. The relationship between static and stagnant fluid properties are developed for isentropic flows of ideal gases, and they are expressed as functions of specific heat ratios and Mach number. The effects of area change for one-dimensional isentropic subsonic and supersonic flows are discussed. These effects are illustrated by considering the isentropic flow through converging and converging diverging nozzles, the concept of shock waves, and the variation of flow properties across normal and oblique shocks are discussed. First, we will start with stagnation properties. So, what is stagnation property? When analyzing control volumes, we found it very convenient to combine internal energy and the flow energy of a fluid into a single stream, which is called enthalpy. Means enthalpy is a combination of internal energy plus your flow energy. So whenever kinetic and potential energies of a fluid are negligible, as is often the case, enthalpy represents the total energy of the fluid. Now kinetic and potential energies of the fluid are negligible. In this case, we had neglected kinetic energy and potential energy. Now, but in case of, you can see here Craft engine, the potential energy change is negligible or potential energy of the fluid are negligible, but the kinetic energy of the fluid flowing through this turbine, compressor or your turbine is very high. So due to that, we have to develop a concept that is called stagnation enthalpy H0. Now what is stagnation enthalpy? It is enthalpy plus kinetic energy of the fluid. So in such case, it is convenient to combine enthalpy and kinetic energy of the fluid into a single term called stagnation or enthalpy, which is H0. So you can see here, this is without kinetic energy and this stagnation is with the kinetic energy. Throughout this chapter, the ordinary enthalpy H is preferred to as static enthalpy. So this is your static enthalpy. Whenever it is necessary to distinguish it from the stagnation enthalpy, notice that stagnation enthalpy is a combination property of fluid, just like static enthalpy, and these two enthalpies become identical when a kinetic energy of fluid is negligible. So when this kinetic energy becomes negligible, the static enthalpy, this H, become equal to the stagnation, this H0 term, or you can say this when kinetic energy is negligible, these two enthalpies become equal. Consider a steady flow through a, let's take an example of this nozzle or a diffuser. So at inlet your velocity is h1, velocity is v1, enthalpy is h1, and h0 is your stagnation enthalpy, and outlet h2 is your outlet enthalpy, v2 is the outlet velocity, and while h2 naught is your stagnation enthalpy at outlet. So when your fluid pass through nozzle, remember this, your stagnation enthalpy remains same, means H01 and H02 both are same, because these are taken the enthalpy and kinetic energy of the component into consideration. So you can write here that H1 plus V1 square means enthalpy at inlet but kinetic energy at inlet is equal to enthalpy at outlet plus kinetic energy at outlet, and both this is the stagnation enthalpy at inlet and this is stagnation enthalpy at outlet, and both enthalpy are equal, because in case of nozzle and diffuser, the you can say they are adiabatically, there is no heat loss from the nozzle, neither there is any work in nozzle and diffuser. This is the simple case where your stagnation enthalpy at inlet and outlet is equal. So consider one more case where your fluid at the outlet of the nozzle is brought to the zero velocity, means this V2 is also 0. Now if your V2 is 0, this H2 become equal to this term. Now when your V2 is 0, H2 become is equal to this. Also your H2 become equal to the H0 naught, the stagnation enthalpy. The stagnation enthalpy represent enthalpy of fluid when it is brought to rest adiabatically. During stagnation process, the kinetic energy of fluid is converted to enthalpy, internal energy plus flow energy, which result in increase of fluid temperature and pressure. Means if we will convert the kinetic energy of fluid, so what will rise? The temperature and pressure of the fluid will rise. The properties of fluid at the stagnant state are called stagnation properties. The stagnant state and the stagnation property are indicated by subscript 0. 0 means that there is no kinetic energy. We assume that the kinetic energy is converted into rise in pressure or rise in temperature of the fluid. So we will represent by 0, subscript as 0. The stagnant state is called isentropic stagnant state when the stagnation process is reversible as well as adiabatic or isentropic. So you will take example of here. So this is enthalpy, this is your stagnation enthalpy, this is your static enthalpy, this is actual state, this is your isentropic stagnation state. So this process is isentropic, while this is the not isentropic process, which is your actual case. Most of the actual processes are not isentropic, but let's discuss for isentropic process. The entropy of a fluid remains constant during an isentropic stagnation process. Means your enthalpy remains constant during isentropic process. Notice the stagnation enthalpy of the fluid is same for both cases. You can see here whether the process is isentropic, this is isentropic, whether it is not following isentropic law, the enthalpy static your stagnation enthalpy is same for both the process. Means H0 is same. So we know that you can replace enthalpy terms of specific heat and temperature. So in this equation, assuming the specificity of the fluid constant, we know that enthalpy is a function of temperature. So it is instead of enthalpy you can replace with temperature, and this equation becomes Cpt naught Cpt plus Vt square. Now what is T naught and T? T naught is called stagnation temperature. T is the temperature of the fluid when it is moving with velocity, while T is naught is the temperature of the fluid when fluid is bring to the rest adiabatically. So T naught is called stagnation temperature and it represents the temperature an ideal gas attains when it is brought to rest adiabatically. Now the term, if you divide this term by Cp, so we will get this term T naught is equal to T plus V2 square by 2 Cp. So this corresponds to temperature rise during a process and is called dynamic temperature. So for example, let's take a case, the dynamic temperature of air flowing at 100 meter per second is, so if you have to convert this 100 meter per second into dynamic temperature, so it will be 100 meter square divided by 2 Cp, which is equal to 5 Kelvin. Means corresponding to this speed velocity of air, the dynamic temperature is 500 Kelvin. Or if air at 300 Kelvin and 100 meter per second is brought to rest adiabatically, at the tip of temperature probe, for example, its temperature rises to a value of 305 Kelvin, because 300 Kelvin plus this 5 Kelvin, when your this speed becomes equal to 0, it will become equal to 305, that is stagnation value of temperature. Also you can see, suppose this is the fluid at pressure P. So when this fluid is moving with the velocity, suppose V square. Now when this fluid is brought to rest isentropically, so this is your stagnation pressure P naught, and this stagnation pressure is called when your fluid is brought to rest adiabatically or isentropically, and this stagnation pressure is equal to P naught is equal to P into T naught by T raised to power gamma minus, or you can say K by K minus 1. So this is your stagnation pressure. You can also replace this pressure in terms of density by using the isentropic relation PV raised to power gamma is equal to P naught V raised to power gamma, and as we know density is reciprocal of your specific volume. So after replacing you will get this relation. So when stagnation enthalpies are used, there is no need to refer to explicitly to kinetic energy. So for energy balance E in and E out, we can write as heat in, work in. This is your stagnation enthalpy H0 naught plus plantation energy is equal to heat out, work out, stagnation enthalpy plus your potential energy at the outlet. So when you solve this, instead of H0 and H21, you can replace in terms of Cp and T0. So you can write here in this form. Q means in and out plus work in and out is equal to Cp stagnation temperature at outlet minus stagnation temperature at inlet plus your potential energy. So where T01 and T02 are the stagnation temperature. In this diagram you can also see when your air moves at 100 speed, it suddenly stops isentropically or compress isentropically. The temperature rise you can see from 300 Kelvin to 305 Kelvin is conversion of this velocity into in terms of temperature. So this 350 is called stagnation temperature, which we can include into this energy equation without including the kinetic energy of the air. So an aircraft flying at a cruising speed of 250 meter per second at an altitude of 5000 meter, where the atmospheric pressure is 54.05 kilopascal and the ambient temperature is 255.5 Kelvin. So this is the temperature of air, pressure of air, and this is the aircraft is moving with a velocity of 250 meter per second. So the ambient air is first deaccelerated in diffuser before it enters the compressor. So this is your component from 1 to 01 is your diffuser part here. So in this diffuser part, the air is deaccelerated before it enters to the compressor. Assuming both diffuser and compressor to be isentropic, find the stagnation pressure at the compressor inlet. So we have to find what is stagnation pressure at the compressor inlet and what is the compressor work per unit mass if the stagnation pressure ratio of compressor is 8. So we have to also find what is how much amount of you can say power or work is taken by this compressor to compress the gas if the stagnation pressure ratio of the compressor is 8. Now first will the first part, that is your diffuser case. So under isentropic condition, the stagnation pressure at the compressor inlet can be determined from equation, that is T01, that is stagnation temperature, is equal to T1, that is the temperature of the air, plus velocity of air divided by 2 Cp, and from here you will get this stagnation temperature, that is 286.8 Kelvin. Originally it was 250.7 Kelvin. Due to this kinetic energy of the air, the temperature has raised by about 31 degrees Celsius as compared to the original temperature. It has raised by 31 degrees Celsius. Now you can also calculate if you have stagnation temperature here from pressure temperature ratio, you can find stagnation pressure at this point. So what is the stagnation pressure? Because kinetic energy has converted into rise in temperature and it has also converted into, you can say, rise in pressure. So this is your stagnation pressure P01, which is equal to 80.77 kilopascal, which is again 26.72 kilopascal more than the pressure of the air inlet. So in the diffuser, temperature and pressure has raised up to by this and this. This is the diffuser outlet. Now stagnation pressure ratio of compressor is 8, which is P02 and P01. So what is stagnation temperature at the outlet of compressor, which is T02, means we will find this T02. So T02 is equal to, again apply the isentropic compression process, is equal to T01 P02 by P01. P01 we have calculated, P02 also this ratio is given 8, that stagnation pressure rise at the compressor inlet and outlet, and the ratio is given 8, and T0 we had already calculated. So we will get T02, which is 519.5 Kelvin, and work compressor is equal to Cp and change in the stagnation temperature if the specific heat is assumed constant. So this is up to here about the stagnation enthalpy, stagnation temperature and stagnation pressure used in case of compressor and diffuser. Subscribe and like this video. Thank you.